I'm Keith Stevens. Celebrating this season of joy is often difficult when you're also going through a season of change. Our friend Amy Grant is with us today. One thing that hasn't changed for Amy is that she's on tour again this holiday season, performing her classic Christmas songs. But now with just one teenager left in the house, life at home has taken on a different feeling, especially at Christmas. Amy, how do we go about making these times of change good times?
Every day I have the discussion with myself, okay, at 55, what are your dreams and what are your hopes? And wow, it's different going through every experience with more time behind you than you have in front of you. And you know, the other day I was talking to a friend of mine named Jack, and we are both sort of the outlaw grandparents to Wyatt. And I said, Jack, what is the world going to be like when Wyatt's our age? And he said, it's going to be better than it is now. And I so appreciated just that, saying it's going to be better. But from that conversation on, I just thought, when I think about the day ahead, or when I think about the season ahead, I'm going to practice always saying it in a positive way. Because part of our experience is shaped by how we say it. You know, as the holidays change, to say, what beautiful, peaceful, quiet. Hey, I'm not up till 2 a.m. putting together a drum kit. I think I'll have a cup of tea and help somebody that is in the crazy time of life.
All right, Amy, I guess we're pretty excited to see Amy Grant coming into the region in concert. And the title of it is An Evening with Amy Grant. I imagine you're going to cover all aspects of your musical career, which is quite diverse. I mean, you go back to 86 with the pop songs and a little bit of country, then, of course, contemporary Christian. You covering everything?
I am going to try. Yeah, that's the fun of having done something a long time. You know, it's just there are a lot of different musical chapters, and so, you know, the night hopefully will just feel like a long conversation, a few stories behind the songs, and that seems like a popular format these days for people that have done music a long time.
Well, certainly when you look at what you've been able to do with your music through the years, and gosh, we can all go back to it all started for you with your family in Nashville, and it's kind of grown since there. I guess go back to those days as a youth in Nashville and how influential that was then to where you are now.
Oh, my goodness. Well, my life, you know, I have been surrounded by family. In fact, last night I was part of a dinner here in Nashville as a fundraiser for Junior Achievement, and my 3 sisters got up and started telling stories about where the craziness of music has taken all of us. And I just always feel grounded because of my extended family.
Yeah, certainly you've had great input from your family through the years. Take us to the pop days of the 80s, because that was a real interesting pop era there. You had the #1 song, I think it was with Peter Cetera, correct me if I'm wrong, The Next Time I Fall of 86. Those were fun times, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I was visiting with my college roommate in Atlanta when I got a call from Michael Omartian, and he was producing that record with Peter. And he just said, hey, you want to come to Los Angeles and sing this song? And, you know, Peter was really on a hot streak. And I just remember holding that phone in my hand and my legs kind of slipping out from under me and my back slides down the wall. And I thought, did all of the female singers suddenly lose their voices? Did I get the call? I just couldn't believe it.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it went to #1 smash success. You know, one of my first things, and I used to run some radio stations back in Pennsylvania, was enjoying your Christmas music. And I love the Christmas album you put together. Was that a highlight for you? It seemed in listening to the depth in that album that you really enjoyed putting that together.
Yeah, I did, but I'm telling you, it never occurred to me that I would be really that the most consistent touring time for me would be Christmas. But like once a decade, I would just write Christmas songs and do a recording. And anymore, I feel like I'll meet people, strangers out shopping or at the grocery store or wherever, and they'll say, "We don't decorate our tree without playing some of your old stuff." I think, well, when did that happen?
We're talking with Amy Grant, and she's coming to the Canton Palace Theater coming up on Wednesday night. And as you've been hearing us talk, she's going to cover all areas of music. Let's go to the contemporary Christian. You were inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame going back 10, 12 years ago. Talk about that side of the music. Has that always been in the bloodline for you?
Well, my experience with any kind of faith music as a kid was just singing hymns in church. Wasn't a fancy church. We didn't have a choir. We didn't even have a piano, but just always singing. And I remember my sister sort of pointing to the music in the songbook, and she said, "If you'll learn to follow those notes, you can sing harmony." And anyway, and so when I started writing songs, I just happened to be simultaneously going to this really fabulous kind of hippie church on Music Row. None of the religious traditions. I mean, everybody was barefoot, blue jeans. It was in the 70s, mid-70s. And my sisters had come back from college in Boston and were so turned on to the Bible, and they just dragged me along with them. And so I started, of course, I loved that, and I started writing songs that were more contemporary than church hymns, but with all of this message in it. So, it just happened. It just happened the way it happened.
The one thing I can think, you're writing, and your partner, Vince, not a bad writer as well. That probably works well in the household.
I got the best seat I've got a front row seat for the most musical human being I have ever met. A few years ago, we put a studio in right across from our bedroom. It was a old den in this house that we bought that was built in the 20s. And anyway, he almost every night he's participating on somebody else's record, because anymore you can just send a file digitally. And I was leaving town a few days ago, and I walked into the studio, and he said, "Well, I can check something off my bucket list." And I said, "What?" He said, "I just sang background on 2 Merle Haggard songs." But he, his gift is so broad and deep and freakish, if you don't mind my saying. He can just do anything. And so he's invited all the time to participate on other people's records. So, I get sick of my own voice, but I love all of the music that comes through our house because of Vince.
I've always said this, too. Anytime I see a picture of the two of you, it looks like you're in the middle of a big chuckle laugh. I mean, it seems to me like you guys just have some wonderful times together. Because in interviewing Vince going back 20 years ago, I really enjoyed my conversation with him, and he was hooting. Like I said, every time I see a photo of you guys or see some, you guys are on a couch or just laughing up a storm.
Yeah, he's funny. And he's really just helped me kind of relax on the inside. That's the best way I know how to describe it. And plus, we both travel so much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we were in the same place all the time, we would be irritated with each other. But it's like, "Oh, hey, I think I know you," So.
You know what? When you get a chance to step back, Amy, we're talking with Amy Grant coming in here to Canton on Wednesday. You really have a chance to look back one day. I don't know if you do it now, but 6 Grammys, everything you've done in the music world, you've really had quite an impact now. And you think about that, for 30 years, you've had an impact in the music industry. It is a terrific career you've put together.
Well, the best part has been the people I've met, honestly, and the projects that other people feel passionate about and ask me to add music to it. Everything from summer camps for inner city kids to St. Jude Hospital. I mean, those are the experiences that make you feel like you belong. All the philanthropic work, and music has been a great platform for that.
Well, Amy, thank you for the time. I know it's a busy week, getting ready for the show here in our region this week, and enjoyed talking with you. I was looking forward to the interview, so welcome to the region, and thanks for the time with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Ray.